lesbian, I can tell.
I was about to
Where's
say that.
Mr. Bear?
I haven't seen
Mr.
Oh,
Mr.
Bear.
never
Bear,
mind.
Callum.
Wait, Mr. Bear? Oh, wait, that's my
Mr. Bear.
teddy bear. Fuck you. It's my teddy bear. Mr. Bear's
Turns
mine.
out Soldier's the kid.
Stay in
No,
the
I'm not
car.
even joking. I actually have a bear
Go and
named
ask
Mr. Bear.
information.
Information on Mr. Bear? Jesus. What? Hey, if any of you guys see Mr. Bear.
Attention,
Ma'am.
patrons. The park is now closed. Please make your way to the car park at your earliest convenience.
Wait, she's just
Employees
gonna like just
prepare the park for shutdown.
hold on.
Callum was born the day this place opened. This is his favorite place in the world.
Get to reading.
Atlantic Island Park, a tribute to the untamed heart of the solemn island and the people who use their talents to bring the dream of Natalie Winter to life. May this park be a place where joy and laughter are gathered and used to all of those who follow after. Dedicated this first day of May 1977, James B. How the fuck you say that?
Longley.
Longley,
Awesome.
yes.
Long.
Hey, so she just like leaving her kid in the car to go find Mr. Bear?
Yeah.
Alright. Excuse me, sir. Have you seen a teddy bear?
He looks like the dude from the Outlast trials.
I like raping little girls.
Hey,
Excuse me, ma'am.
Lorraine.
Get the fuck out of here.
Lorraine. Don't blame yourself, Lorraine. People lose things all the time. Take a deep breath. Think about the last place you saw your son's teddy bear.
Man, how the fuck does he
Hey,
know?
Stop! I think your boy just ran into the park. I'll unlock the gates for you.
Two things.
Little brat. We gotta beat him to death now.
Two things. One, how the fuck did he
How did he
that she
know?
lost it?
Yeah.
And one, how the fuck did he get through the gates were unlocked? Were locked?
Welcome to the park. Oh, Leon.
That boy fucking booking it.
There's
It's the
something
lowest
special
escalator
about
in
the
the world.
entrance to an amusement park.
I'm gonna
A
be
line
honest
drawn
though.
between the
If
real
that was
world
me
and
who
the
just did
world
that
of
to my
whimsy
mother, nah, she'd be
within.
fucking booking up that escalator
On this
stairs.
side,
She'd be running.
the apathy of our everyday lives. And on the
Yes,
other,
you know.
anything we might dare to dream.
It's death. Worse than
It's
death.
no wonder Callum ran back inside. I wouldn't want to leave either.
Attention, employees. The park is now closed. Have a safe journey home.
What?
Oh,
What?
yeah, I don't think a teddy bear is fucking worthless.
Oh God. The park. What happened here? It's easy to get lost here.
We're at the Sideshow Alley.
Is that a fancy words for side piece?
You can't catch me.
What if a feeling her son died at this park, so the park was closed down, and she doesn't realize this, so she's coming back to find her son, and she doesn't
You're
even realize
already
this.
making a lore that we don't even know. That's awesome.
If that is actually true, then I just guess the entirety of this plot. That would be hilarious.
I swear I'm gonna strangle that little brat.
Because I think what happened is he ran to the park because he lost his bear, and something happened, so he died.
And she
And
can't
now
accept
we've
it.
come back. Yeah, now we've come back because like look at all the debris lying around, and the park was closed down because he died. And that's why that one guy knows, like that's her conscience saying that she shouldn't beat herself up about it. And that looks like it's about. Look at that thing. The hell?
It's watching me.
Chad the Chipmunk, huh? Just a drunk guy in a suit.
Chad the Chipmunk, welcome to the Atlantic Island Park. Chad can be seen in daily ice sculpting shows in the following locations. I'm not reading the 11 a.m. Sideshow Alley, 1 p.m. Octron, Chad the Chipmunk, worst in class. Chad can't even seem to pass. Chad gets angry, likes to fight. Chad is beaten every night. I think we don't need to read the rest of it.
Are we sure this is a kids' amusement park?
Well, it was graffiti, so.
What is this about?
Purchased to land on Summon Island for pins, I might add. Whether old Archie has limited to local is just the mention of his name, and people slamming doors and locking shutters from the room that I arrived on the island. My lawyers have arranged everything in advance, but the realtor still had to come and deliver the keys to me personally. He took it upon himself to offer me another warning. I don't know what you're planning to do with this land, Mr. Winter. The soil here is bitter with a curse carried from the old country. Old man Harrison, he did terrible dark things. The land remembers, sir. I dismissed him shortly afterwards, mostly amused by his pathetic attempts at warning me off. I have a great vision for this place, and the will to see that vision through to the very end. Atlantic Island Park. The name is perfect, and I can't imagine it being anything else. This is the start of something amazing. A pretty good reading voice, if I do say so myself.
Very good. 10 out of 10.
That's where her son died, right there.
You don't hear that?
Or what?
Nothing.
Callum, stay where you are.
Is that little worm? Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a little worm.
Come on, Mommy.
Yeah, he's dead. He's definitely dead. I'm calling it now. He died at this park.
Get on, lady.
Juan Lake. Maybe the guy at the front was the therapist.
What if he was just a figment of our imagination?
Or that too.
Near a great forest, there lived a poor woodcutter, his wife and his 2 children,
Jesus,
A
you
boy
didn't know anything
named
about
Hansel
that. That's true about you
and
was
a
poor.
girl named Gretel.
No Hansel and
They
Gretel.
were very poor and had very little to bite or sup.
Man, CJ, this is like telling you your entire life story here.
Just without the drugs.
What will become of us? The woodcutter asked his wife one night. I tell you what, husband, we will take the children into the thickest part of the forest tomorrow and abandon them there.
Dang.
No, my wife, I cannot do that, said the man. Then we will all 4 starve, you fool. Hansel and Gretel overheard their parents talking, and Gretel began to weep. Do not fret, Gretel, Hansel said. He crept out of the hut and gathered white stones from the ground to fill his pockets. The next morning, the woodcutter leads the children into the forest. Before they leave, their mother gives them a slice of bread and warns them that they will get no more food that day. Clever Hansel leaves a trail of white stones behind them as they pass into the woods. When their father leaves them, the children wait a while, then follow the trail back to their parents' house. After receiving a thorough scolding from their parents for getting lost in the woods, the children are sent to bed without any supper. Hansel tried to sneak out and collect more white stones, but found that the door was locked. Tomorrow I will take them into the woods myself, the wife told the woodcutter. In the morning, their mother gave them a slice of bread and led them deep into the forest once again.
I'm sure that's fine.
Hansel broke his bread into pieces and left a trail of breadcrumbs to lead them safely home. But hungry-eyed birds snatched up the breadcrumbs and his trail was destroyed. Abandoned by their parents and unable to find the trail home, the children wandered in the forest for 3 days. The children stumbled into a clearing with an exceedingly strange house. Its walls were made of gingerbread, and its windows were panes of clear sugar. Hansel, desperately hungry, ran forward and began to nibble on the walls. Nibble, nibble, little mouse. Who is nibbling at my house? An old woman emerged from the house, sniffing the air and peering around with cloudy eyes. Oh, you dear children, who brought you here? Just come in and stay with me. No harm will come to you. But Hansel and Gretel stayed back, for the old woman reminded them of their cruel mother. Come, children, don't be afraid. I have something for you. The old woman offered them 2 enormous lollipops. The children took them and began to eat. You see, nothing to fear here. Come inside, the old woman urged, and the children, still licking their sweets, followed.
Yeah, I know the story. This is another one.
Once inside the house, the old woman changed. She stuffed Hansel into a cage and put Gretel to work, sweeping and cleaning her hut. Your brother will make a good mouthful, the old witch told Gretel. Once he is fattened up, I shall
Yes,
feast
you there?
upon him. Time passed,
CJ.
and poor Hansel refused to eat, fearing the day that the witch would eat him. The witch, for her part, grew impatient. Today I will cook and eat your brother, Gretel. Climb inside and light the oven. But Gretel pretended not to understand. I do not know how. Where is the opening? Fool, the old witch said. The opening is here. And she moved.
You
to
know,
show
when we
Gretel.
first started this, I didn't think we were going to be
Seizing
listening
her
to children's
courage,
tales.
brave Gretel gave the witch a
I'll
sharp,
be honest, I just pulled up my
and the
fucking
old
phone and started
crone
watching, so
tumbled
it's-
forward into the
I'm
oven.
not doing that. I'm
Gretel
enjoying
slid
the
a
story. I'm
large
getting
iron
immersed.
bolt over the door to the oven,
Me opening the GC in the morning to
Gretel
find
freed her
there
brother
has
Hansel,
been an argument at
and
3 a.m.
together they lit a fire beneath the oven. And though she screamed and begged, the children sat by the oven until her screams had stilled and the witch was cooked. And then, because even children can't survive on sweets, they divided up the body of the old witch and
What?
ate her.
That's not how I remember it.
Not at all. Well, it's not like a lesson
Also-
at the end, like that's children why you shouldn't have bad parents, or that parents why you shouldn't do that to your kids.
Hey. Okay.
Okay then.
Where'd Liam go? The Tunnel of Tales, my friend. The Tunnel of Tales.
Hansel and Gretel. I used to read it to Callum when the electricity was shut off. Those poor children. The whole world against them. The forest, the birds, the old witch. Even their own parents.
Hey, Kevin,
I
traumatized
used
you
to
now.
imagine that Callum and I were the kids in that story.
What?
Not mother and son, but brother and
What?
sister. Hand in
What?
hand against the unkind world.
What?
Huh?
We were always hungry. Looking for our own house made of candy.
What?
Looking for the sweetness that could take the pain away.
What?
Hunger leads people to desperate,
What?
terrible places.
What?
Where the tree branches reach like claws.
What?
What?
Uh-huh.
Somebody tell me what this lady's saying.
Another accident. This place.
Oh, blood. Hey, teddy bear.
But the constant interruptions to work, Atlantic Island Park will be opening on time. The governor is booked to cut the ribbon, so the only real question is whether we will have any customers. I'm not truly worried the customers will come out of simple curiosity. I deduced what was needed from the band or writings of Archie Henderson. It's astonishing to think that our resonance, whatever the fuck this is, of positive emotions can be used to feel such a process. Henderson himself close to use negative, that chose to use, and that caused some of the taint that still lingers in this place. I'll not make his mistakes. Very soon I'll know if this has all been for nothing.
This old thing used to make the blood run to my head. Make me dizzy. The guy just snapped. Those poor kids.
Eyewitness report Atlantic Island Park incident. Officer on duty. Sheriff F. Bannerman. Witness name Creed Norma. Statement. We were waiting for our turn on the ride. Frank, me, and the boys. This fellow in the chipmunk suit is making an ice carving while people took photographs. Lawrence wanted to go over to him, but I always had a bit wary of those suits. They gave me the creeps. Silly, I know. Wade, the chipmunk man, he was carving, picking away at the ice. At first we thought he was making some animal like a tiger, lion, but as more and more ice fell away, when you first looked, it was like a human face smiling out of that block of ice. The more you looked at it, the more you saw there was something not quite right about it. Proportions, something unnatural that made your heart begin to beat just a little bit faster, like you were prey and that thing in the ice was a hunter. But then these teenagers walked up and one of them made a face at the carving and said something rude to the guy in the chipmunk suit, and then I went berserk. For a few moments it was chaos. Everyone was running away from the guy who had one of the teenagers on the ground, and he was stabbing the ice pick, and blood was spraying, and people were screaming, and Frank and I had the kids, and we were dragging them away as fast as we could. The last thing I saw before Frank dragging me away was that the eyeball of one of those poor kids that landed on the ice sculpture, making the horrible creature look more or less alive.
Good God!
Jesus. What you think of my reading voice?
Even better.
Alright, hold on. Alright. Stop for a second. My parents just got back home, so stop for a second.
Pretty good so far. Not so bad, not too good.
Oh, I remember this. Mommy needs to see you, Callum. Where did you go? Callum? Hello? Callum?
Catch me, Mommy.
Hello? Treachery hides in thoughts. Treachery that lashes like a whip and scars our insides.
What I about to?
The first time I saw Callum, my thoughts betrayed me. I looked down at this wrinkled, red, bawling thing and I thought,
She's
that it?
yapping.
We build our world from expectations, and the world that I had built for Callum was no different. He was so real, so there, and so far from my expectations. And they shattered, and as they fell in pieces, that one treacherous thought became a new foundation. All of the love that we shared, all of the warmth and goodness that followed, built on a single traitorous thought.
Hey, yo, lady, what you yapping about?
I can't get on while it's moving.
How's it gonna start then?
Imagination. What? Round and round go. Oh, they're awfully fast, don't you think?
Oh god.
Oh, what?
What?
What did you? What was that?
I barely saw him.
I saw it like 1 or 2 times there. What the? Huh?
I wasn't paying attention. I was looking around at the ground. I wasn't expecting that.
Are we just gonna ignore that game?
Where did you go?
Catch me.
I thought working in the park for a summer would be a lot of fun, but the end of the season it really drags. There aren't many tourists around so much, and so most of the staff spend their days standing around gossiping. Most of that gossip is about Chad. I mean, Steve. See, even I am starting to call him Chad. I went to school with this guy. It's like, goddamn soon. In the beginning it was a laugh. Steve, the local lunch at Chad, the chipmunk child-friendly mascot at Atlantic Island Park, locked up your daughters and all of that, but the more he works this, that shit, the weirder Steve is getting. First it was little things, like refusing to change out of the suit at work and taking it home for the right day. But then I saw him at the diner still wearing it. It wasn't even a work day. The staff complained discreetly to the park management about the smell. I saw him walking, talking to Mr. Winter one day, but nothing seemed to have changed. The suit still smells like a carcass whenever Steve walks by, and apparently Steve picked up some new skills since the last time I saw him. Puking up in a gutter outside Squalo Station because he's sure as hell he can crave and be a nice sculpture. Those shapes he makes nice though, they give me the creeps. Steve came by the booth today, lucky me. Hung around for a while. I couldn't really tell because of the suit, but it's staring at me, sizing me up, fucking me. Whatever he was doing. I asked him what he wanted, and he just stood there not saying anything. Eventually, I called my supervisor, and when he came by, Steve wandered off, but my supervisor told me to put everything in writing, so here it is. So I quit. I don't want to see that chipmunk suit ever again. Laura Henry.
Oh my god!
Callum? Where'd you go?
What?
Huh? Callum, buddy, what?
Callum?
Hello?
Catch me, Mommy.
That one's on.
accident report. Employee named Francis Jefferson. Time and day of the accident incident. 25th October 1976. Laborers working on the crane supervised. Brief description of the accident or incident. During the transport of the bumper cars into the arena, one of the straps attaching the load to the trunk came untied, causing a cascade of bumper cars onto Francis, who was standing directing the driver. Francis was crushed by the weight of the cars. Describe any injuries caused. Francis was killed. Did the injured employees see a doctor? X. No. If yes, did you file an employer portion of a workers' compensation form? X. No. Supervisor comments. Dexter, the truck driver, claims to have seen someone on the back of the load undoing the straps. Nobody else reported seeing that. The sheriff has requested that Dexter provide them with urine samples. What could have been done to prevent this incident? Double checking of the straps after transit should be mandatory, and drug screening for all drivers. Have the unusual conditions been corrected? Yes. X. No. Employer supervisor signature. Eligible signature. Date 25th October 1976. Additional comments. Notes. The local laborers are very superstitious, and this hasn't helped. Some of them are refusing to return to work until you have someone from the local church to walk the park and exercise the spirits.
The spirit. Oh my god. I swear, if he keeps doing that. Whoa. Oh, I'm dead. I'm so dead.
Oh. What'd you think of my reading voice?
Peak. Can't get any better.
Callum, where did you go? Stay where you are!
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Once I was pulling this shit, I'm beating his ass whenever I find him.
Exactly.
Callum, where did you go?
Why isn't he talking?
It's a matter of public record that I am a failure as a mother.
What?
Once, when Callum was very small, I left him asleep in the car while I ran an errand. Don't even remember what it was. When I came back, the sheriff was standing next to the car, watching my boy through the window. I didn't like what I saw in his eyes. Judgment. He wrote me the ticket without saying a word. Just the scratch of his pen on the notepad. When he gave it to me, our eyes met. I know what you're going through. My daughter, Helen, she just gets some help. Help was a bolt of lightning. Help was 1,000 volts surging through my veins. Help is agony. I'd rather die. I wanted to scream. I'd rather you pulled your gun and shot me. But instead my mouth said, yes, Sheriff.
Is it just me, or does this thing sound alive?
No, sounds like machinery. Continually delayed by the incompetence of the builders. The problem is that they are locals, and so they believe it. One of the rumors about what Old Man Henderson used to do here. They grew up on this tale, so every time a bolt comes loose or a wrench goes missing, those fools are crossing themselves against the black magic. Of course, this is why I chose this site over all other potentials. Solemn Island is a nexus for dark energies, and the thought of all that power just dissipating beneath the earth here makes my skin crawl. I called in a few favors back in Brooklyn and got someone in the local academy to see if they had any interesting books about local history. It turns out they do, and it turns out that Old Man Henderson has some pretty strong connection to the Brooklyn crowd. Perhaps something he wrote will help me find the piece of the plans that I'm missing.
So what you thinking so far? What you feel?
I'm just confused.
Damn.
Terms. State Bureau of Fair Rides Inspection, Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services, Staff Inspection Report, Inspection date September 2020, 1980. Inspection result, unsafe, closed the park. Inspector connects after touring the park, riding the rides, and viewing the Starling. A number of innocents suffered here in the park. It is the inspector's opinion that Atlantic Island Park should be shut down until Nathan Winters complies to all state relegations. While I understand there's a sensitive political relationship between Mr. Winter and the senator, I nevertheless suggest that such political considerations be set aside in commending Atlantic Island Park. The rides at first glance appear well constructed and maintained, but the sheer number of incidents in the park during the last few years after construction lead me to believe there's something wrong with base level construction, and we should close the park and fully investigate these flaws. To wit, here's a partial list of all fatalities in the park since opening only 2 years ago. Family of 3 killed when a roller coaster car derailed. 14 separate incidents of broken bones and crushed ribs while riding the Oregon. 3 suicides from the top of the Ferris wheel. A child seriously injured on the escalator. Over a dozen children reported missing in the House of Horrors since its construction. One report of drowning in the Tunnel of Tales. The sheer volume of incidents means that it's me's strongest recommendation that Atlantic Island Parks be closed immediately. Signed, David